there was a very interesting article about self-censorship studies, basically, and they did 2 studies, one in America and one in Germany, on asking people the question: do you feel that you have to be careful about certain things that you talk about now? So the one in the US, they originally did this survey in 1954, and these numbers are quite staggering to me, actually. In 1954 in the US, 13% of people believed that they had to be careful about what they said. They had to be guarded about what they said. The number now, 2023 I think it was, sorry, so it's not 20, but last year's survey, 46% people, so which is a staggering number. 50%, nearly 50%, half the people in the US believe they have to be careful about what they say in certain conversations. They did the same thing in Germany, which we'll assume has a representative of the European side of it. They could only go back to 1990 in Germany because of the reunification period. And so 1996, 16% believed they had to be careful about what they said. And then now 44%. So again, nearly half the population in Germany. And you and I were talking about this last time, and you said, there's always certain things that one can't talk about. But what this is saying is, yes, there are certain things, but the percentage and the amount of things that people can't talk about has tripled since 1990 or whatever it is. And do you think, because I think you were quite not blasé about it last time, but you said, we always have to censor what we say. But we're censoring a lot more now.
We are, but there's some reasons for that, apart from just the fact that we have to self-censor. So one of the reasons is social media. So you've got more opportunities now to voice your opinion that you never had 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have had to watch what you said, because all you was ever talking to was your friends and you could be honest with them. Now you've got social media where we all have to watch what we say. So people are more aware now of having to self-censor.
Yeah.
So that will make up some of those numbers.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Also, we're in a culture war at the moment, which means, we're almost 50-50 of people on either side of this. And because of social media, because of businesses now are so involved in our lives, your employees so involved in your life, you're scared of losing your job. We've had these issues before, such as a business would say, we're not employing Roman Catholics. And we had laws passed to say to businesses, their religion's got nothing to do with you. If they turn up and do a good day's job and you pay them, that's the end of your involvement in that person's life. We've lost that now. So now businesses are going, because you support X and Y in your own time, we're going to discipline you at work, that you've never said those things at work. In fact, we're going to sack you. So things have got worse, absolutely. But I think a lot of it is technology driven.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a very good point, that people are now scared to say things outside of work that they used to, and they sort of understood at work, I can't call that guy an N-word because I'll get in trouble or whatever. But when they went to the pub, they would say the N-word with their friends or whatever. I remember when I started out I was originally an engineer, and I started out my career, and I must have been my mid-20s. I was walking around with a perfectly nice chap, and he suddenly used the N-word describing, we were walking through Hume, and he said an N did this or whatever the other day, and I was really shocked. But he wasn't concerned about self-censoring at that point. I mean, this is going to be the mid-80s or whatever. But so people now are scared to say things outside of work and in work as well, which is, so there's an awareness now, far greater awareness of what you're saying is, can be dangerous. And I think people are actually scared if they say something in a pub that they will, that potentially that could be overheard. That could then go back to their work or whatever it might be as well. Yeah. By the way, Rob the American was telling me what he was discussing 9/11. Yeah. But he said he was discussing 9/11 in a positive way. But the actual thing that they
in a positive way.
Yeah, he was saying he'd unified the America. Yeah. But then I think they were talking about BLM after that, and that's when the police were called.
Right.
when they were expressing their views on
Yeah.
BLM in the pub that time, basically. So he was discussing that in the pub. Somebody overheard next door, police were called or whatever. But I mean, that's a massive increase, up to 50. So we're saying every 1 in 2 people out there are scared of saying things to other people. Are self-censoring themselves, holding
and
back.
probably rightly to do so, to a certain extent. Now the question is, what happens if they carry on doing it? Well, things get worse.
Yes.
At some point, people have to make a stand and go, no more.
Yeah.
And should do it on a valid point, not on the M word, not on something like that. If the valid point is, and that's what I do now, I speak my mind now as politely as I can.
Yeah.
I never used to when I was, before this part of my life now, political, when I ran my old charity. There was many things I wanted to discuss online and didn't, because I thought, this might affect funding to the charity.
Yeah.
And you can see it with lots of people in the business world. And business people I speak to say, Nick, I love everything you say, but I'm not going to say it on LinkedIn because I want contracts off such a company and this company. And on LinkedIn, I've had comments on some of my posts on LinkedIn. There was one woman I remember saying, I find it really useful, Nick, to look at who likes your comments on your posts, because I'm going to make sure I never do business with them. It's like, so you can understand why some people are nervous, because people need to make a living, people need to earn a living. But this culture war needs winning. That's how we get rid of it. It needs winning.
Did she not understand the irony of what she was saying there?
No.
This is a person who is studying responses, free speech responses to people, and then as a direct result of that is cancelling those people.
Yeah.
And they don't understand how pathetic and stupid that is when they do that.
Because if you're not on her side, you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
And that's that simplistic thinking we've got going on in our communities and across the country. Is there's only 2 sides, right and wrong, good and evil, light and dark.
Yeah.
I'm obviously amazing. I'm obviously, you know, I'm like Gandhi, Mandela, and you know, I'm one of them people. And if you don't agree with me, it's obvious. You're Hitler.
Yeah.
Obvious. And who wants to do business with Hitler?
Yeah.
Apart from Coca-Cola and Boss and Mercedes. Yeah. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.